and welcome back to Semmelweis STEMtalk. Today's guest is following a career path out of this world, and I mean that quite literally. Vivien Klaudia Simon is a fifth-year medical student at Semmelweis University, and also a passionate space enthusiast who has participated in some of Europe's most exciting space programs. She has contributed to astronaut medical selection and preparation with the Hungarian to Orbit program as a research student. She also took part in analogue astronaut missions, joined student rocket building projects, and attended numerous international training courses with the European Space Agency across Europe. All of this while pursuing her medical education and research in space medicine. Today, we'll talk about her journey from the classroom to the launch pad and explore what it takes to thrive in this challenging and fascinating field. Vivien, welcome to the studio. It's so lovely to have you here today. Now, let's start at the beginning. Tell us a little bit about yourself and about your journey.
Hi, Victoria, and hello, everyone. I was always passionate about science. I guess it started in primary school, where I was really excited about chemistry and the natural sciences. I took part in several chemistry competitions throughout the years, and I ended up deciding to go to university. It wasn't a straightforward way to me to go to space medicine, but I guess even in high school, when I looked up to the sky, I was excited about thinking humans can go up to the moon again. And so at the beginning of university, I didn't know I could combine these areas, space and medicine. It's really like a specific field, so really not a lot of things comes up when you search for it online. But the more I got into it, the more opportunities came along, and now I see it as a feasible and as a direction I can pursue.
As far as I know, one of the very first projects that you got involved in was at the Budapest University of Technology and Economics, where you joined a rocket building team, if I understand correctly.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about what is it, what did you have to do, and how did you find out about this opportunity?
Yes, so as I realized space medicine exists, I started to research it, if there's any research group like that at my university, and at that time there wasn't any. So it was actually a Facebook post, and there was a student rocket team at the BME called the BME Aerospace, and they had advertisements about searching for team members, and there was a payload engineer or scientist position, and in the background there wasn't anything about medical students, but I thought maybe I could design biological experiment for rocket, and that would be closer to something space related that I could do. So I wrote for them, and they said they wanted to have an interview with me, and I guess that was my first research about that was like space related that I got involved in.
And what did you have to do there as part of the team?
Well, there was a competition called the European Rocketry Challenge in Portugal the next year. So the goal of the team was to design a rocket, and part of the rocket was the payload, where we had to design scientific experiments. And I decided to design a biological experiment. It's really challenging to do that for a rocket, because there's really like a specific time frame that the experiment have to work in between when the rocket goes up or down. Also, it's in a remote location usually, so you have to keep things sterile in that remote locations. It's really a challenging environment.
Right.
I was a bit lost in the beginning because I was alone without research team, just me and my laptop. But I started writing for researchers, and I started gathering ideas, and I ended up designing an experiment about osteoblast-like cells, and designing an experiment that studies how osteogenesis is affected by the hypergravity when the rocket goes up. There's like a really big acceleration.
Yes.
And as we know, the bones are affected by mechanical forces. And yes, so this was the experiment that went to the European Rocketry Challenge, and I guess that was my first experience. I get to have a presentation where I showed my research to the international jury, and they really loved the idea. Like, some of them told me this is really nice. And although we didn't ended up as a like for the whole rocket like getting first or second placement, like based on the points for the payload, we got in the third place.
Wow.
Yes, so
so you must have been really proud of yourself.
Yeah, I was.
That is very exciting. That's really super. And I know that you have been a part of something truly historic, I would say. You were a research student, right, at the Hungarian to orbit. What was your role as part of that mission, and what did it feel like seeing this whole thing unfold?
I think, if I remember back correctly, I also somehow ended up finding about the HUNOR program online. I found their page, and at first I wrote for them if they have any ideas or recommendations about designing a rocket experiment. And they already had some people at Semmelweis involved at that time, and they invited me.
Yes.
And they didn't have any ideas about anything for the rocket experiment, but they did ask me, would you like to help out in the astronaut selection processes? And I did my summer nursery internship or rotation at the Városmajor clinic, and that's where most of the tasks were carried out. So I got to help out in that. So I'm not allowed to say a lot of details about it, but I joined when there were 25 applicants, and I stayed all the way there until it was won. And I got to help out in the selection at first, and the physical preparation, the fitness assessments, exercises, the workouts, and I did go to TDK conference with the half-year results of their preparation and the results. And after that, I got to help out in designing the protocols for the medical experiments that goes up to the ISS. And so I feel very I think it's very lucky that I got to be there exactly at the right moment, at the right location, because if I haven't written that email to them asking about rocket things,
yes,
I never would have had that opportunity to meet with them. And also that before that I decided to go to the Városmajor clinic, and that was also the same place where this happened. A lot of things had to
That sounds like serendipity to me.
Yeah,
a lot of things aligning at the right moment, at the right time, just for you.
Yeah, so I guess I got to be there. It was predestined somehow. So I feel very lucky to have been able to meet with the applicants. It was really, for me to see the whole selection process. They had to undergo so many tasks. They had to change their entire lifestyle, their entire diet, their entire workout routine, and they basically had to leave everything behind that they were doing and start a completely new lifestyle.
Yeah,
it's really inspiring to see that.
That sounds amazing. How did you feel when you actually saw it going off into space, this whole thing?
I felt very proud that, I don't know, it was a very strange feeling to actually know the people sitting in that capsule. So I don't know how else to describe it. It's very strange, but it's a good feeling. I was really very proud.
Yeah, I think everybody in Hungary during those days, everybody was super excited, and everybody was cheering on, and the whole country was basically proud. And you must have been extra proud knowing that you were somehow a part of this whole process. And I know that beyond Hungarian missions and Hungarian projects, you have also been involved in quite a few things with the European Space Agency. You've attended summer schools with them, I believe, right? Human physiology courses related to space, and also, what else did you do there?
Ooh, yes, I took part quite a few workshops and summer schools. But let me tell you about the first one first, because I feel that was the most important for me in a way. I don't actually remember how I find out about it. I think I just searched the ESA page, the European Space Agency. They have online page called ESA Academy, and they always post about current opportunities.
Yeah.
And I saw that they have a human space physiology workshop, and I applied. I didn't expect to get accepted, but I did, and it was quite a surprise. And I went there to Belgium, and that was I think that was in my second year, and that was the first time I felt that, oh my god, space medicine is an area that actually exists. Like, there are people researching it, there are researchers, and I got to see different presentations from people who research those areas. I got to find about master degrees about space medicine, and most importantly, I got to meet other medical students who are interested about this direction. And that was like the turning point where I became much more determined about these fields, and I was very excited. Yeah, and then I also took part of the Alpbach summer school in Austria. It was about exoplanets, so not really my specialty, but it was also a nice experience. I got to meet a lot of international people.
Right.
I got to learn about the physics of exoplanets, and we designed a telescope that uses UV rays to detect exoplanets. To be honest, I feel like I learned more than I contributed, because it wasn't really my field of specialty. And after that, I went to a space design workshop in Stuttgart. I got to meet with the engineering side a bit more. My role there was to work on environmental control and life support systems and human factors of a space station. So I get to work together with engineers to design how much oxygen we need, how much food we need, and certain different aspects of a space station. And we designed a whole new ISS. And that's where I also started to think about, should I maybe study a little bit more engineering, because that's also like an interesting direction to go towards. And yes, so the more I took part in these, the more direction I also saw that I could go towards being a flight surgeon, I could go towards being a clinical researcher, I could go towards a little bit more engineering. So I'm still undecided, but there are different directions.
That sounds really exciting and super interesting. And one of the other very special projects that you're involved in, it's called Asclepios, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about what is this project and how did you get involved?
I'm very excited about it because this is something I'm currently the most involved in. The Asclepios is a student-led organization that's about simulating a lunar mission on Earth. So it's a space analog mission.
Ooh.
And what is very exciting about it, that it's like 100% students. We have mentors from all around the world. It started in 2019.
Yes.
As an EPFL association. That's I'm not attempting to say out the EPFL name in French, but it's a university in Lausanne, and it's a very good technical university. And it started out as an EPFL related association, but now it's independent and it's recognized by EPFL. That's the official expression. There are students in it all around the world, from America, from Asia, and from all around Europe. And there is a mission each year during the summer where we go to an underground Swiss fortress in Sasso San Gottardo.
That sounds so cool.
In Sasso San Gottardo, and we simulate a moon mission basically, and like all the selection of the astronauts and all the mission, it's like an analog to real space missions. So it's based on actual selection steps, the process. It's based on real astronaut selections, and also there's a mission control center. I'll tell a little bit more about it later, but that's also the roles and how it's built, how we communicate. All of it is based on real space missions. Actually, I found out about Asclepios from a girl that also went to the space station design workshop. And I think it was in last March, and she posted on her Instagram page, she was taking part in the extreme environment training of Asclepios with the astronauts. And I looked at it and it was so cool. I was so excited, and I thought, oh my God, I would never be able to get involved in something like this. I would never be able to do this. And I didn't know that the next year I was gonna take part in that as well. So I saw this post on her Instagram page, and I started researching Asclepios, and I applied to be in the medical team. And last November, around the end of autumn, I've been interviewed and I joined to the medical team. And my role as a sports preparation officer, I get to hold presentations to them about trauma treatment, wound treatment. I got to take part in the integration weekend where we met in Toulouse, and I went to the extreme environment training.
Wow. As
well with them. The extreme environment training, as its name is saying, it's about going to an extreme, extremely cold, in this case, environment.
Yes.
So we went to the French Alps, and I wasn't supposed to go. So there was another team member that was selected to go, but she couldn't do it. And so the head of the medical team asked who would like to go. Well, I said I might want to. And then she had a meeting with me, and she really scared me. She said, it's really hard. Are you sure you want to do it? and I never done anything like that before. She said, we're gonna hike up with really heavy backpacks, where we're gonna eat only freeze-dried food. You're gonna sleep in the snow. You're gonna freeze. And I never done anything like that. I was a bit scared, and but I still said, I'll try and do it. I'm really glad I did, because I said, worst case, I just come home, or like either in one piece or in like a rescue helicopter, but like I come home, I won't die. probably.
Okay, but you came back home not in a rescue helicopter.
Not in a rescue helicopter, but very funny story. I was the only one who got injured.
What happened?
And well, this might sound a bit terrifying, but we had avalanche rescue training.
Yeah.
And we buried everyone under the snow.
Oh my God.
And the others we wore like a signaling device, and the others had the detector, so they buried us, each one of us, one by one, under the snow, and they had to find us and dig us out. And
I'm getting anxiety just here.
Yes. It was very scary, because you couldn't move at all. Like, you would feel like you're in inside a rock, and you couldn't really breathe. So you had to hold your hand like this, so you could have this much air to breathe.
Oh my God.
And so they didn't know exactly where I was. So someone stepped on the snow and it collapsed. And I had like a sunglass on and it broke and they tore like a little, like it. I had like a little bit of a wound. And they started digging me out, and they all looked so worried, and I was like, I couldn't feel my face because it was really cold. So I was like, oh my god, did my face tear off or something? They all looked so worried.
Wow.
And then they brought me a mirror, and I was like, guys, this is just like a little bit of like a few millimeter injury, and yeah, I was like, it's okay, let me just put something on it. And later on they said they were surprised how calm I was. They thought there might be something wrong with my head. Why was I that calm? And I've seen so much bigger injuries here at the medical university, so that was like nothing. So they scared me a little bit because they all looked worried, but I was the only one who got injured as a medical officer there.
A little bit ironic there.
Yeah. But I'm very glad that I went. I was freezing, to be honest, and it was hard, but I survived. I'm in one piece, and I'm very glad I did, and I might be going back next year.
Wow, that sounds crazy, to willingly go and be buried alive in the snow.
No, I'm not doing that again. I'm not sure.
So that was last year.
It was in 2025, but last academic year. So
right.
This spring, yes.
And just recently, you came back from another mission. Is that correct?
Yes. So that was like a training for the astronauts.
Yes.
So that was to prepare them to build teamwork and see how they react in these extreme conditions. To train them for the actual mission, which was this last month in July in the underground Swiss fortress.
Wow.
Yes, now that I say it out loud, it sounds really cool.
It does sound very cool.
Yeah.
An underground space fortress. Like, how much cooler can it get?
So we had 9 astronauts. And 3 of them went inside for 16 days, and 3 and 3 then went in for 10 days, and they changed each other. And my role was to be very close to them inside the mountain as well, but like in another part of the tunnels. Yeah. In the MCC, the Mission Control Center. So in real space missions, that's where they control the things that happen during the space mission. The only person usually who communicates with the astronauts is the CAPCOM, the capsule communicator. So every conversation has to go through that person. But I was in a position as a BME, biomedical engineer. I'm not an engineer, but that's how position called, / flight surgeon. My role was to make sure everyone stays alive during the mission. I had daily briefings about any medical issue that occurred. Fortunately, nothing major happened, like an ingrown nail and being cold and some knee pain, and the biggest issue, to be honest, was the meal plan. Like, they always complained about something about the meal plan, so I had to change that very often.
So you were responsible for like the dietary requirements?
Yeah, that as well. Yes. There was actually another girl who was responsible to make the whole meal plan, but as the BME, I had to make adjustments to that. Right. And they only ate live freeze-dried food, which real astronauts also eat in space missions, because the process of freeze-drying the food makes it consumable for like 5-10 years. Wow. And it's very light, so it's very cheap to, I mean, not cheap, but like cheaper to bring up to space, where they have to minimize weight and volume. So yeah, I was trying to make sure they are the most comfortable and like changing the meal plan so many times. Yeah, but they ended up surviving, and that's all that matters. And they didn't lose much weight.
That's fantastic. And Vivien, looking back over these experiences, and if you've had so many already, what were some of the biggest lessons that you've learned so far?
I would say maybe the first one is to take initiative, because how I saw that advertisement about the rocket team searching for a team member, but there wasn't any specific role for me, but I still applied. I still reached out. And also about the HUNOR program, there wasn't really anything about searching for students to join at that time.
Right.
And I still reached out. So I guess even though where I didn't actually see an opportunity for me, I reached out, and I got to help out.
That's wonderful. So taking initiative.
Yeah, taking
is always
initiative.
important. And of course, you've been doing all of this alongside your medical school studies.
Yes.
You know, just a little simple degree, right, to follow alongside space medicine. How do you manage all of that?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I don't have a lot of free time, but doing this actually like helps me to stay motivated to do my medical studies. I can see why I'm doing it. Like I can see myself using this knowledge in the future to do research. Without this, I mean, I think it would be harder for me to do the medical school without having this motivation that space medicine gives for me. So it's helping me a lot. It's like a lot of extra work, but you don't feel like it if you enjoy it. I love doing it.
And speaking of the future, let's say in 5 or 10 years, where do you see yourself? Like, what kind of projects do you wish to be involved in?
I know that we're going back to the moon. I would love to be involved in that. As I mentioned, there are like many branches of space medicine. I don't know yet which one I would like to pursue. I love research, but this Asclepios mission also helped me realize I really love being involved also in the operational side of things as a flight surgeon.
Yeah.
So I don't know yet, but I'm sure whichever direction I choose, it will be exciting.
It does sound very exciting, and we wish you all the best on your journey. Now, if we have somebody in the audience listening to this and they think, oh my God, this is so cool, I wish I could also do something similar, but maybe they're not related to the space field right now, do you have any advice for them? What are some of the ways that they can find out more about this and maybe get involved?
Well, first thing I would suggest is to go to the ESA academic page. They have a current opportunities page, and they always post about any upcoming summer schools, workshop or seminars. They always fund the travels and the accommodation and the meals for the students, so it's basically free. It's a really good opportunity to get involved in space. So that's the first thing I would say. Second thing, I really loved being involved in the students teams here. And no matter what you study, if you study biology, medicine, engineering, law, you can get involved in a rocket team as well, because we also had HR departments where there were law, students who study law, whatever direction, you can still get involved in these teams. And also attending conferences. I know we're gonna have a conference this November in Balatonfüred. in Hungarian it's űrkongresszus, like space congress.
Yeah.
And also internationally, there's a conference called IAC, International Astronautical Congress. It's going to be in Sydney, so it's not always close.
Right.
But it's also a really nice opportunity to get to see, get to meet other people, other students. What I've seen is the more things I got involved in, the more people I met, the more connections I made, the more opportunities came along. Like just now I got sent like an internship opportunity by like 3 people that are my friends.
Yeah.
And I got sent a link about summer school as well from 2 other friends saying, hello Vivi, we found this, we thought of you, this might interest you, and this is a really cool feeling to have like these international friends, and they saw something and they think of me. So yeah, so it's also really nice to like make friends in these workshops and in these conferences.
Right, because then that can lead to even more opportunities.
Even more opportunities.
Vivien, before we wrap up for today, is there any piece of advice for the audience in general that you wish to leave us with today?
Even though I knew nothing about space medicine, I really didn't know if it existed or what to do. But I just started doing something that was like related to it. I think just starting the process, just starting doing something towards it, that would be my advice. Like even if it's not space medicine, like any other field, just taking the first step. Like in high school, my mindset was it has to be perfect. I'm not gonna start this because it's not 100% related to it, or if I start doing it, I have to be perfect at it. My mindset right now, I think a little bit changed. Like I'm still like a perfectionist in the end, but like in the beginning it doesn't have to be. So like taking the initiative, just starting to do it, even if it's like not perfect at first.
Right.
I think maybe that. So just write emails, like take the initiative and start it, even if it's like not perfect at first, and you'll get better, you'll get to know more opportunities, you get to meet people. So yeah, I would say that.
Thank you so very much for joining us today, Vivien. It was wonderful to hear your story. I am so incredibly proud of you and everything you have achieved so far, and I'm sure you have a lot of exciting things waiting for you in the future, and I wish you the very best of luck. And we're going to keep an eye on you and see where you're going in the future. Thank you so much for joining us today.